Hello, this is Grace.
I'm Bill.
That's
And
Bill.
I'm down there, not up there.
We'll start with some questions. There's not a lot, so this is gonna be a quick.
We should start with how does it feel to be famous?
No. Is the mic working fine? I've never asked that yet. I haven't asked that yet. I'm seeing the comments on the screen too. So, Michael Gardner's question. This is 2 days ago. It says, "Hey guys, can't wait. I am interested in any gear changes you might be making. Be well, guys." For me, I ditched about 4 pounds worth of weight, but I'll be gaining 1.5 pounds back into my gear list because I will be bringing an extra weight that is not, I don't consider it as a necessity.
Why don't you just unbox it? It's hilarious that she's bringing it and calling it gear, but I'm not going to complain. It's that good. So anyway, without further ado, you can go ahead and unbox it. I told you there was a knife beside you.
All right, so I got it.
You don't have to talk them through it.
Oh,
While she does that, I'll talk about my gear changes. I went over my gear. I just broke it all down again and only focused on like my actual changes. But I will say up front, like I dropped like almost 12 pounds. When I weighed into Amicalola, I did not have water in my pack, but I had 4 days of food, and I was at 34 pounds.
I forgot how to close this.
Well, there's only like a couple ways, Grace.
I got it. Okay.
I weighed up my gear now, ditching the winter gear and some other items, and a pack change. And I am down to 22.5 pounds, and I'm gonna shave a little off of that too with some extra clothes I can skip. So, what's in your box? This is what you struggle with that box for a while. Her brother came to visit with him and his partner, and they had one of these. And we used it for about 30 seconds before the battery died or something, and we were sold. We went out, she bought the regular size one, and it's actually working wonders on our muscles. So she went ahead and bought the 1.5 pound mini to bring on the trail with us.
Here it is. Man, it's really tiny, but it is heavy.
Doesn't look anything like the other one.
No. Try it out.
It doesn't show up on there. It's a percussion massager, basically.
It's percussion therapy where it tenderizes your muscles.
It does. People ask about how our injuries are doing. Well, mine was going good, and then she pulled her back today and actually has an appointment with my chiropractor this Friday. Anyway, but mine's going pretty good. I'm probably 90 to 95% healed. I'm confident. I'm ready to go back out and hike. But I live sort of by the mantra of like expect the worst and there's only pleasant surprises. So I'm a little nervous about getting re-injured, more than a little nervous. Yeah, we're just gonna take it easy. She's gonna bring this little Theragun thing because it really helps, like even more than rolling the calves out and stretching and things like that. Like it just beats all that stuff out. I think my right Achilles was worse than my left because I've had this ongoing cramp in my right calf that MRI came back good. They did it from my knee to the bottom of my foot, and everything came back good, just minor bursitis. So I didn't see anything in the muscle, but I've had this for years, and literally using her regular size Theragun for like a week now, and that's totally melted away. But it was like we were running about 3 years ago. We go run like 4 or 5 miles after work every day, and it was just my right leg would just lock up, and that's done for. So
from Scott B.
There was some stuff on the screen.
I've been seeing it too. Let's finish up. There's only
a few. You can see it there?
Yeah.
Okay, I just making sure we didn't ignore.
In what ways did this endeavor brings you closer to God? What did you learn about God's character that you did not quite know beforehand?
I would say I don't think we learned anything new specifically on that, but we just got to experience the things we've learned, like His sovereignty in our life, His provision in our life, and just kind of working through the bad, because I can't remember what she put in all her videos, And I'll interject now that people are watching. Like when this really is her endeavor, so I don't really keep up with the comments like she does because I don't even have access to the channel. So that's a little disclaimer, off topic. I understand. So long story short is, we did have a lot of bad experiences. Like my pain, she kept calling it aches and pains. Like it was atrocious. I could barely walk by the end of the day. Um, but actually, that slowing us down put us in position to handle things on the trail and meet people on the trail that we wouldn't have otherwise. And she handled some legal things that came up, and we would have been in the Smokies had we not been slowed down, and that would have just been impossible. I had been praying about some certain things in my life, and it put us in a church where they preached about like straight up that topic. It wasn't even like an allusion or a sidebar. Like that was the overall arching topic of the sermon. So definitely worked out to our good and our benefit, and that's another reason we're excited to get back, because we've said even though this is a childhood goal, I can't really justify walking away from life for 6 months and walking away from church and our friends there and everything if there's not going to be some aspect of our relationship with God and taking this time to pray and of course we don't beat people over the head on the trail with religion. We understand it's a taboo topic. We definitely won't shy away from it or that's what we believe. But, we respect that. I mean, I don't think we're supposed to be belligerent about our faith and force it on people who don't want to hear it and listen. And so if that's just the way the trail is, it is. But if I slip something out and comment, I just, I hope that people return the same favor. And I'm hiking my own hike and, it's somewhat of a religious journey for me. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not going to compromise that. So
we lived our lives working together for about 10 years now.
Ridge Tool.
Yeah, we worked at Ridge Tool.
They're on 7 days, and they've been on 7 days a week for months now. I have no regrets walking out the door there.
So we've been working there for 10 years, and the life that we know is pretty much we work more than we have time for going outdoors. And when we quit our jobs and went in this endeavor of hiking the Appalachian Trail, now we have more time doing what we wanted to do when we were working 8 hours a day for 6 to 7 days a week. And that's a huge change. So the time in our hand is like, we don't know what to do with it. Hike the trail, yes, that's one of the things. But as a Christian, our spiritual growth and how we see God grew even more. Like we leaned towards what He wanted in our lives, and we learned lessons along the way that we've never learned. That everything is a first time for us. First time having such problems with physical needs. Like we've started to learn our body and how God helped us to get through those hardships in life and His hands on it. And that's a huge blessing. The people we met along the way, which this is our first time meeting these trail angels. And Gordon.
Our first trail magic was on, actually, I guess, yeah. Our first trail magic where there was people there feeding. Like we came across Zigzag, thank you, bless you, because you left some snacks just before the Tesnatita hog pen, that huge climb. But on the other side of that, it was our first Sunday on the trail, and it was a Christian family that was feeding people, and like it was great. We had a time of the fellowship and talk that way, and they told us about how they got involved in the trail and stuff. So yeah, there was moments like that.
Yeah, to get to experience what we learned from church, how God provides things and how sovereign is and how much He loves you and He will take care of you. To experience that on the trail is a huge thing. It's a huge blessing. I really did grow spiritually there in that very sense. So, it's Lisa Bautista. This is 1 day ago. Says, "Hi there. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the trail again. With that said, do you have scriptures you plan to focus on for the next part of your hike? And what inspired you to choose the scriptures at the end of each of your vlogs? P.S. I love your theme song on your vlogs. It fits you too perfectly. How did you choose it?" Let's start with the verses. The verses, it just comes up. Like at the end of the day, if we need encouragement, I'll go, and if I have signal, I check online. It says like encouraging verses in the Bible. And that's how I pick it. So I read the verses, which helps me read more verses and different types of encouraging verses and how it fits in my situation right now.
Right here.
Right. Yeah, I'm using the internet for resource to immediately take me to the very chapter or verse that I need for encouragement.
Some of it has been kind of like how people will just, title their video, like Quicksand. He's got little titles that are almost cliche for his videos or whatnot. And so kind of she picks the verses based on that too, like how the day went or somebody we met or something we talked about and discussed during the day too. So.
Yes. My music. I use non-copyright music. I listen to them in YouTube. And then I go from their description box and see if I like the song. It all goes down to what I like. And if they ask for their channel or their link to be in the description box in my videos, I will do so because that's the only thing they asked. They didn't ask me to pay for them. They are free. So I'll go with what they wanted for me to use their music. So I'm not going to claim it as mine. They're not my music. I put them on the description box below and every vlogs that I make, and I have Bill listening to it. So if he gives his
she picks some stuff I don't
inputs,
like.
yeah, I pick some stuff he doesn't like, and then it's like, no, I don't like.
Then she uses it anyway. It's her channel. All right, you got any more questions?
2 more questions from here, and then we'll go to the chat right now. From Tom Brown 2 days ago. Where in PI? Probably Philippines.
Yeah.
Where in Philippines are you from, and how long y'all been married? Hey, I'm from the Philippines, the island called Luzon. It's the main island where the capital is, which is called Manila. Bataan is where I grew up. And I have a few videos online, Philippines vacation videos. If you want to check out those, you'll see a little bit of where I lived and what Philippines looks like. Bill was there too, and Ariana.
So do you remember how long? See, I'm so off the hook.
What?
Let's see if she remembers when our anniversary is.
Anniversary!
I'm the only one that
Hold on,
remembers.
Hold on, I got
this will be the second time you've got it right in how many years?
It's December 6, 2014.
All right.
I got it right?
That's the second time.
December 6, 2014 is our anniversary date.
I remember the date, but I don't remember what it's about. Something happened. I don't remember.
It's one of those embarrassing moments when it's the woman that forgotten the very first anniversary. What's it like to be famous? That's pretty much the last one from Magic Horseman 2 days ago.
Let's put it this way. Number one, thank God we're not famous. Number two, I've taken 3 personality tests and every one of them has labeled me as an introvert. So, yeah, no.
And you never know. Before, you don't even want to be on camera. And then you started, giving up more of your input. And then you started holding the camera and vlogging yourself. You might grow into this, Next thing you know, right? First one is from Michael Gardenier. Again, 22 pounds with 4 days of food.
Yes, that was 22 pounds with 4 days of food. And when we start, actually, her brother and his partner are going to be meeting us, and I think it'll be our day 3, and we'll be walking to Mount Washington, I keep saying that, Washington Monument. They'll be walking to the monument, not the mountain, with us and hanging out for the day. So we're only going to have to start with like 2.5 days of food, so I'm kind of excited about that.
I'm glad that my brother will be seeing us and meeting us there, because if something goes wrong within those few days that we're out there, they will be there. So that's a good thing.
Keith Carper's asking, will you do any cowboy camping later? I absolutely would love to, honestly. Number one, I like the shelters because I don't like setting up a tent. I just don't. We're quick with our triplex and everything. It's not a problem. I would just, less stuff to mess with in the morning to clean up and start hiking. So yeah, like in the future, if it's not raining and the bugs aren't too bad and there's a good starry spot, I'd love to cowboy camp.
Did you look into getting a portable tents machine?
We didn't quite look into it. We saw one that was like $20 at Walmart, and it was Equate brand, so I wasn't gonna throw away $20 on it. But with my doctor using that as his primary therapy, if things come back, I'll think about it. Her Theragun seems to do similar results, and then she'll enjoy that too, and it works for, well, I guess the TENS works anywhere too. So yeah, we've already got this, so we're gonna roll with this for a while. But yeah, I'm not giving up that easy. If I get some more pains, I'll get a TENS unit too.
What shoes did you switch to by Lisa Liu?
Oh, that's a good one. I keep on switching shoes. So most people know I started out with some Ultras. They're still the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. I love them. I will gladly wear them when I'm at home and done with the trail. The Outdoor 76 put me into Brooks Caldera, and they're super comfortable. They have a 4mm drop, and we added some custom meaning they cut up insoles to put in to give me like another millimeter rise. I hiked in those, but since the pain didn't go away, I wanted to try something else, something more traditional than a trail runner. So I actually shopped around, and a lot of places were out of shoes. Apparently that's like a shortage too. So long story short, I got into some oboes. I don't even know, Sawtooth or something.
Yeah, Sawtooth.
And they were really cool. I wouldn't say that they are out of the box break-in comfortable. Like I think, 15, 20, 30 miles will break them in. And they felt awesome. We took the day I bought them, I did a 6-mile walk in those. Yeah, I call it a walk because it was a flat trail here in Cuyahoga Valley National Park. And they felt really wonderful. So then we got into some hills at a different walk, and I felt like I was on high heels because I was going to fall on my face going downhill. And to be honest, my left Achilles, which has been healed for like 2 weeks, hasn't caused me any issues, started to hurt. So I think it was too much rise. So now I've wasted another $100 on shoes, or 100 plus, and I got some Keens. It's not really a waste. The Keens Targhee Vents. And it's a 10mm drop. It's perfect. The shoes feel nice and stable. I'd heard this about oboes. They can be slick on rocks if they're wet. So these don't have that issue. And yeah, I'm really liking them. And I will probably finish my hike in them as long as they hold up good.
I switched from my Ultras to the La Sportiva Raptor. And that's what I will be continuing to use on the AT. Do you have a PayPal account? If you did, could you link it to your YouTube account, where if we wanted to give you trail magic to you directly, I would, and I already have given to other hikers. Denise, thank you so much. We do have a PayPal account. It's in the description box below. So if you want to help out, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, and I've said this
Wait till we get like
before.
200 miles, right?
Okay, and I've said this before. We really do appreciate this. We really do. But we are not hurting for money.
No. In fact,
Okay?
we filed February 10th for our income taxes, and we finally got them last night, 7 to 10 IRS days later. Yeah, we're not hurting for money. We saved for this for quite a long time. Maybe we'll do another video on like our financial journey, but we did good at this factory that we hated. And we got to a point where I was actually banking 75% of my paycheck. 25% of my paycheck was their spending money. And we paid like the bills out of my wife's paycheck and still had spending and saving money from her paycheck. So we are much golden on the finances. So we do appreciate anybody that wanted to give some trail magic, if you want to call it that. But like literally, like even like half jokingly, like wait till we make sure I'm not going to get re-injured in like 3 or 4 days. Like don't go dropping us $5 for a pizza or something. Like I would feel so bad.
If you really want to give, I'm not going to take the opportunity for you to bless us. If that's really what you think you want to do, we're not gonna say no. We'll be using our savings, what God has already given us. That's it.
Yeah.
Keith Carper. Hello guys, what inspired you to hike the AT?
The inspiration was my dad was not into sports, hunting, guns, cars, anything when I grew up that a lot of kids grow up with. He was into stamp collecting and walking. And so I was probably 6 or 7, and he'd have my mom drop us off down the railroad tracks with like a pack of hot dogs, and we'd hike like 10, 12 miles back home down the railroad tracks. I grew up going to national parks, specifically Mammoth Cave and the Great Smoky Mountains quite a bit growing up. In fact, I think we literally went to the Smoky Mountain National Park at least once a year as far back as I can remember growing up. And one of my, I won't say earliest memories, but let's say it was like 9-ish, 10-ish. And my dad took me on a trip, just me and him. My mom stayed home to have some peace and quiet. And we hiked to Charlie's Bunyan from Newfound Gap. It was a 10-mile trip, and that's up the AT. And he explained to me what the AT was, and I've just kind of wanted to hike it ever since. So, yeah, I've been saving and trying to hike at other points in my life, and it just didn't work out until now. So.
Yeah, it's not even in my radar, the Appalachian Trail, till I met Bill. When we were dating, Bill is actually the one who introduced me to the AT. And he told me that he's not going to be hiking and just will use the AT money he was saving to start our lives together. And then, he already had the sleeping bag, the backpack, I've seen it. And pretty much that didn't get used up.
No, we gave it to a bum.
Yeah.
What she's trying to say is she moved here, and yeah, we were just kind of beginning a relationship. I don't know, it's a convoluted story I'm not going to get into right now, but on one hand I had the Appalachian Trail, and on the other hand I had smoking hot Asian girlfriend. I was like willing to postpone the Appalachian Trail for a little while. And then, what boyfriend is going to keep a girlfriend when he doesn't have a car? So the first thing I did was bought a Toyota Camry with a blown engine. that was an ordeal too. But yeah, so we postponed it. I had a daughter from a previous marriage. We ended up getting custody of her while she was in high school. And then, so when she graduated, she kind of took off to do her own thing, and she's living out west now, and dad's jealous and whatnot. But yeah, that was kind of our freedom to say, hey, let's go do this hike now. We've got the money, we've been prepping, and we're just at a point in life where, no matter what, we weren't staying at the job we were at, because, even without a love of hiking, I just do not believe people should be forced to work 6 or 7 days a week out of their life. And I mean, I could go on about how atrocious that job is, but one little, let me poison the well story. So there's this guy, he's the other older guy that did what I did. And he's got life-threatening things going on with him, where he's going to be medically retiring soon, and they're in denial and not even planning on replacing this guy, even though literally he was out for 4 months, heart surgery and all this other stuff, and they're like, oh no, Bruce will be here forever. Sorry, I don't want to give his name away, but yeah, that's the kind of place it is. So we were like, no, we got to cut ties to this place. They're just going to suck the life out of us. And
here's Keith Carper. He said the AT will not leave, she might. But yeah, he introduced me to the AT, and then I started getting interested. Then we started watching vlogs, and I got more interested, and it took off from there. Then we started doing some hikes around Ohio, and it grew. And it grew from hiking here to backpacking, trying it out, see if this is really for us. If we survive 2 days in Wayne National Forest and we still want to be outdoors, and we did. That's pretty much it. The kicker over there, Wayne National Forest. We had vlogs of that too. So you just go back to some playlists and videos. You'll watch. You'll see it. Okay. Next question. Ukulele. At the end of your videos, the handwriting on the board, how is that done? I use the KindMaster app to edit my videos. So everything is done in the KindMaster video editing app. It's all in there. The handwritten thing, it's a font that they actually have on the KindMaster app. So I use that very text, the feature that they have there. So
I saw something about, I think there's a train at your door. There's literally like 5 railroad tracks that go everywhere around this town. If you'd seen one of our prepping videos, we were hiking at Finley State Park, is like 4-minute drive that way down the road. And like every time she tried to speak, rah, rah, there's a train. Here we go.
trains!
I'll shut the window, but it's already crazy hot.
How old is your beard, Keith Carper?
It's, I don't know, 3 years now, something like that. Yeah, I could probably save like 10 or 12 ounces if I cut my hair and shave.
Mom hates it.
My mom hates it. My wife was like, I just want to see your hair like ponytailed once. So I was like, I'll do that for you. It can always be cut. And my mom was just like, nah, 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 nah. And I'm like, well, I'm married to my wife, not you, so.
Yeah, what I want is for him to have a Gimli beard where you braid it a little bit. Lord of the Rings. I told you that before. You should try
He's
it out.
tough enough to pull it off. Hollywood paid that guy enough. Nobody's paying me.
Man, that beard is full. Like, that would be like about 1.5 pounds or so.
Move on.
What would you guys say were your biggest gear mistake? I.e., anything you wouldn't bother taking again? You want me to start or you start?
I was distracted by the screen.
I think the umbrella. I sent it home.
The umbrella. She got the Six Moons Design popular umbrella that weighs like 8 or 9 ounces, and it's like $35. And she never once used it. Hiked in the rain.
I tried to use it. It didn't work out. So
Okay.
I put it back in the thing.
And I actually found one on Amazon that was the same weight, and it was like $10, $11, and I brought it, and I never used it. It was like, we got the mountain crossings, and it was like, oh, this is going in a box, what else? The other thing I brought before was the guidebook. So we have the PDF on both our phones, and I have gut hooks on my phone. I'm really enjoying gut hooks for seeing what's ahead, the next water source, where we might camp, and the elevation changes between point A and point B. I think the guidebook is great for me for planning like our next town stop. You know, how many days are we going to have to plan for food and things? So kind of I saw another question on there somebody asked. And I know I'm skipping ahead, Grace, I apologize. So we are going to flip-flop. We're not picking up where we left off. And because we're going to flip-flop, I might actually tear the guidebook in half and bring it, just because, like, I don't know, me and technology, and I don't want to like sit there and scroll through like 1,000 miles of the trail on my PDF every time I want to get to where we are at Harper's Ferry. And I'm sure there's some cool way you can just like search page whatever, but I'll forget the page number. So, but yeah, the guidebook to start was like so redundant and 6, 7, 8 ounces of nonsense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Sawyer cap that we brought too. We sent that home. The what do you call it?
The Sawyer cap. Oh, the tornado coupling.
Tornado
Yeah, we never did the
coupling.
gravity feed, and then my Sawyer broke. Like it didn't even freeze. And it was backflushed it like 3 times. I don't know what happened to it. I wouldn't say it's pretty old. I've had it for over a year. Anyway, I switched to the Catadine Bee Free, and I love it so much that we just. Well, my wife ended up buying one too now, so that's a gear change.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Michael Garnier again. So Bill, I know you love the numbers and stats of the trail. So have you looked at how many miles you may need to do a day to get to Katahdin before Baxter closes?
No, so the big stats was really, what I really enjoyed seeing was the elevation between point A and point B, to kind of, because I was in so much pain like most days. And I didn't want to miss water sources. No, I actually haven't like kind of broken anything down, done any math like that. But I know, like, you know, we're leaving, you know, shortly, so we'll have May, June, July, August, September to make it to Katahdin from Harper's Ferry. Though, like I said, we're already doing a flip-flop. So I'm just imagining, say, 3 months from Harper's Ferry to Katahdin, and then we'll go back down to Harper's Ferry and finish the trail heading south. And we do intend to finish. Weather, injury, money, time permitting, we don't want to stop at the NOC and say, hey, we're done with our through hike. We do want to get all the way back down to Springer. But yeah, legitimately, if we make it to the NOC, hip hip hooray, we're through hikers. And I'm kind of looking forward to that too. Like, to be honest with you, at first I was like, oh, I just always wanted to go straight to Katahdin. But now I'm like, there's really good cheeseburgers and a place to sleep indoors at the NOC. So we can get there and celebrate. And then we would like to go down the trail and visit and stop at the towns and the people that help us, go from south to north along the way. So that's kind of our plan.
Just curious if losing weight is part of your reason to hike. It definitely was for me, and both the girlfriend and I wish we were out there with you. That's Greg Myers.
I'm banking on it because the amount of garbage I'm eating at home, like I'm going back to the trail, I'll burn it off. So legitimately, we were on trail, call it on trail, for 22 days before we got off because of my injury. We actually hiked 16 of those days. And in that time, hikers eat whatever hikers want to eat. I still lost 14 pounds, let's call it, in 16 days of hiking. So, yeah, I would like to lose some weight. I need to lose some weight. And eating cherry pies and ice cream and barbecuing nonstop since we got home. Yeah, they opened a new meat market right down the road. It's like a little off topic of the AT, but yeah, it's cool. It's like they farm and raise everything themselves, and we've been hitting them pretty hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to lose some weight. Eating was the hardest part for me on the trail at the beginning. Just forcing myself to eat. I never felt hungry, so I would put like 3 granola bars in my pocket and start hiking because I'm not a breakfast person. And, I might eat a lunch and then a dinner, and even lunch was light. So I was only eating like anywhere between 800 and 1,000 calories a day for the first 5 days of hiking. I'm sure that's where I lost most of the weight.
Okay, Sue Taylor says, I love my umbrella. It took a bit to get it attached right, but once I did it, I was gold. Yeah, that's pretty much the deal with me. When I was using the umbrella, I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to attach it to my backpack. And I just got frustrated with it. So I'm like, oh man, you're going home. It's like, it's raining and I need you, but I never really practiced with it. So it's my bad too that I didn't practice with the umbrella. We practically didn't do a lot of hiking in the rain before we even go there.
No, it just didn't rain. We wanted to train for cold weather here at home, and
it didn't rain.
It really wasn't much winter before we left. We were trying to get, we live in northern Ohio, and it quite often gets down around 0 until you want to test a 0-degree bag, sleeping bag. The other thing too with the umbrella, I think it'd be great. I mean, I bought one because I wanted to use it. For certain aspects, but we went through so many rhododendron tunnels and stuff that it just wouldn't work. Most days was like 15-mile-an-hour winds while we were on the trail. That would tear up an umbrella. So, I didn't see it as practical for this, even though I really wanted to use it in a sense. Somebody asked about how much muscle we might have built. I honestly don't know. I don't know how I would measure that, but I can tell you our last day going to the NOC was our hardest day. It was the most uphill, the most downhill. 11.6 miles, I think we hiked that day, which is our second biggest day. The funny thing is the day I injured my Achilles was a 12-mile day. It was the biggest day. And then the day we got off trail was nearly 12 miles. And we knocked those miles out pretty quick because we weren't in a hurry to leave that morning because we didn't intend to get all the way to the NOC. Mm-hmm. So we took our time, we took more breaks, and we even noticed, I was even laughing about it, and I was walking half a mile an hour because it hurt so bad, and I was and we're still going faster than we normally did. I felt stronger, so.
Keith Carper says, what are your dogs' names? We have 3 dogs, plus my mom's dog.
Yeah, if you don't know the situation, we bought a house with my parents, has almost an in-law suite, and we kind of live and work together, and we all live better for it. So
My dog's name is Macy. She's a Shih Tzu. Suka, Bill's dog, an American Eskimo. Kona, Golden Retriever. So that means a lot of dog food. Okay.
Let's wrap it up with this. Somebody asked about our trail names. Why don't you tell them about our trail names? They asked if Coffee and Ready was our trail name.
No. Coffee and Ready is not our trail name. Coffee and Ready is something that I started a long time ago. A little bit of a backstory. I was LDS Mormon a long time ago, and coffee is something that we're not allowed to drink. That's against the word of wisdom. And after I got saved, I realized I really, really love coffee. So that's one thing.
She really loves creamer.
And I really love creamer, coffee creamer. Okay, that's one thing. And then Ready is something that, man, I'm going to start a channel and I want to continue this as a saved person. So God wants us to always be ready to share the gospel and be ready to be called and be a Christian in a way. So
I'm learning something I never knew.
So I'm like Coffee and Ready.
See, I thought Ready was, I was in the infantry before, and you've got to be, like, if there's a formation at 7, like your platoon says you got to be there at 6:50, and your squad leader's going to tell you got to be there at 6:40, so you just get there at 6:30. So I'm very time oriented. So yeah, I thought that was why it was. Because come on, Grace, it's time to go.
Yeah, that actually worked out. Because he's always the one like, let's go, let's do this, and I'm the one who's always late. So Coffee and Ready.
See, I mean, time oriented. We're already 2 minutes and 10 seconds. We don't have trail names yet.
We don't have trail names, and we're going to have the trail name us.
Mm-hmm.
The hikers.
Yeah, we're not concerned about that. It's amazing, like how many people in these Facebook groups for hiking the AT like agonize over their trail name. I'm like, dude, that's the least of your worries. Is what moronic thing you're gonna do to get a name.
We're out there to hike. We're there to hike. So the trail name, yeah, it's part of the culture, part of the experience, yes, but we're not agonizing about that. It's the hike that matters. It's our journey that matters. What places on the AT are you most looking forward to? That's Keep Carper.
Yeah, and he said bye. See, he's leaving
okay.
on time.
All right. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. Finishing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Really, we don't.
What I'm looking forward to right now, because like literally, I am terrified about getting re-injured. Like I don't have the pains I had, but I don't feel normal either. So I think when we've gotten like 200-300 miles into this, and I'm not like injured, and I'm starting to push 12, 13, 14 mile days. That's kind of the most what I'm looking forward, because that's at the moment we'll be like, okay, I can do this. Yeah, it's just weird. The AT is so much different. I mean, I know Ohio, I'm not stupid, right? Ohio's flat. It's not the AT, but we were hiking 18 miles with our packs and stuff, even in the hilly southern Ohio. We did 14 miles in Grand Teton in the mountains there before the hike. Did that all in ultras too and never got hurt. It's just, the AT is completely different than any of that. So.
Did you leave any markings along the trail, something to go back or commemorate? No. We are going for
leave no trace.
That's pretty much you have to do as a hiker. That's hiker etiquette. Probably just stakes. Marks on the ground. That's it. The stake marks that you leave on the ground.
Oh, for trekking poles. I was like, stakes on the ground.
Yeah, the trekking poles. That's it. No, we can't. We do not want to leave anything behind. Pack it in, pack it out. Those things.
Okay, we've answered all the questions.
Yes, thank you so much. 56 minutes.
I had no idea this would be like, we're like 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, that'll be all it is.
All right, let's go eat dinner, guys.
Yep. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and be blessed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your interest, and yeah,